love my job. I just love it so much. I mean, just like I am so proud to be the superintendent of the Poudre School District. Not only are we celebrating incredible accomplishments, but we're showing we're willing to have conversations about really difficult but necessary things too. Whether it's suicide prevention, Attendance Awareness Month, as a statistic, we really know that we can't teach and help engage students unless they're in our schools. And while we have 90% or more of our students in attendance every day, we have over 30% of our students chronically absent. And that's not just a PSD challenge. I participated in a statewide call with all superintendents across the state of Colorado. It's a statewide national challenge. The state has set a very ambitious goal of reducing chronic absenteeism down to 17%, I think, in the next 5 years. And so I really appreciate that our district's strategic plan is working in alignment with these efforts to make sure we can continue to provide the wraparound supports to all of our young people in a way that's meaningful. The work that we're here celebrating tonight doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, and it happens with a lot of people that are involved. And I want to cue our communications team to show a quick win video around actually what our successful start of the school year has looked like up to this point. Our videographers can tell one of us, can't they, in a short period of time? I am so proud of how they help symbolically represent all of what this community is about, from our employees, our parents, our students, our board, community members who trust us. I want to thank our operations team who worked tirelessly over the course of the summer to make sure all of our facilities were ready to go on day one. I want to thank all of our teachers and administrators for not only greeting, but we started academic business on day one in this district too. And I want to thank our community. When you have a chance to look at all of the various projects that were briefly illuminated, those projects wouldn't be possible without voter support in 2016 and a bond. So I just think it's really, really important as we think about what makes this district great. It's all of us contributing 1% more every day to trying to figure out how do we continue to make quality improvements. And I have a chance, not just in video, but as the superintendent, to go out to our schools, to engage with our community, see that firsthand. I've had so many experiences across the community the last 2 weeks that I wish I can talk about all of them that I can't. I had a chance for the first time in my time in Colorado to go to the governor's mansion last week because we were recognized as one of the few districts to be the recipients of a RISE grant for about $600,000 that is making it possible for students in our automotive pathways and our information technology pathways to have paid apprenticeships. It also paid for all of the equipment to start our automotive pathway, and watching students in our transportation building learn how to do their first oil change was quite inspiring over the last couple of weeks. I had an opportunity just last week to celebrate Kennard Middle School's 20th anniversary. And the highlight of that event was sitting down with Sandra Kennard, the wife of Hal Kennard, and listening to her story and talk about her husband's legacy, her family's legacy, and what makes that community great. I just thought that was super special. This morning I had a chance to go to the Lincoln Center with an incredible amount of staff. There wasn't an empty seat in the building, as many of our leaders who are classified staff members had an opportunity to provide capstone presentations to the district's cabinet and to their peers and other leadership. I want to thank Joni, I want to thank Judy Kinner for their leadership and support. I was able to see 2 presentations that were all in the spirit of how can we be better as a district in supporting our newcomer population. We have over 300 newcomers who have joined this community, the PSD community, in just the past year, and listening to our classified staff members who are boots on the ground and in many instances closest to those families, trying to figure out how we can be more compassionate, responsive to those families really touched my heart and inspired me. Also had opportunities to learn about classified mentorship programs today, recognizing that as we look at employee turnover, how can we continue to invest in our employees in meaningful ways. That was amazing, and I'm really, really looking forward to figuring out creative ways to fund some of those proposals across the district. I have probably been in close to 8 schools in the last 2 weeks. I wish I could talk about all of them. I'm going to talk about Putnam Elementary School. We talked about Putnam a lot last year as its student enrollment is maybe not at the level of a lot of our other neighborhood schools. But as CMAS, our state assessment scores were published over the last week or so, I'm proud to acknowledge that Putnam Elementary School, for its 4th and 5th grade students, had the highest academic growth in the entire school district. And I would say on average, the growth was 4 times the rate of an average school in this district. It's that high. So I had an opportunity to talk to their principal, Steve Apodaca. He gives all of the credit to his teachers. And he talks about the mindset of the teachers at Putnam Elementary School is they approach their day-to-day work like scientists. And they're really hard in a professional way on each other that when they're having their high-impact teams work, there is a rule at Putnam Elementary School that in order for a teacher to suggest an idea around their way of work, they have to provide first evidence that is backed by research. That's the standard at Putnam Elementary School. Now, what's great about the leadership there is they've been in place for 16 years. They've been building these systems. But one of the takeaways that I've had around from Steve's leadership and his assistant principal's leadership is they believe in hitting singles every day, getting 1% better every day. It's not about taking big home run swings. They are really fundamentally clear that we have limited time with our children, and what we do every second of the day matters. And if we take every second of that day and make sure what we do is research-based, and we do it in collaboration and with some level of consistency, these results come. And he has proven year over year, this is not the first time that they will be eventually recognized by the state, but for every single subgroup at Putnam Elementary School, they have exceeded state expectations for growth, which means an academic year of gains in 1 year's worth of time. Because of where their rate of growth is, they are actually closing achievement gaps as a result of their efforts. So a tremendous amount of work that is going on there. I've been to Johnson Elementary School where great work is going on there. I met a 1st grader named Emerson who was doing his first science lab of the school year, and they were designing boats out of foil and testing weight to see and learn about density and mass. They were putting pennies in the boat. And I asked him what inspired. He had a really cool, almost like a Viking design of his boat. And I asked him, Emerson, what inspired you to make it like that? He said the Titanic, which really startled me as a 1st grader talking to me about the Titanic. But sometimes inspiration could be a non-example of design. And he taught that to me as well. And I went to Lesher, who was celebrating their Spirit Week yesterday. It was so impressive to see the balance of joy as well as academic press. That is a school of historic high expectations in terms of student outcomes. But to see how they're, just engaging joy and collaboration and humanity at the center of that was inspiring. And I closed my day yesterday visiting Bennett Elementary School, another great school, another school who had a very difficult year last year as a result of our community conversations. And I had an informal superintendent chat at the end of the day that not only many of their teachers decided to participate in, where we can just talk and engage with each other, but a parent came. And she represented 8 other parents and asked a series of questions of just wanting to know what to expect. So that level of engagement amongst our staff is what makes that video possible. The engagement level of our parents is what makes that video and our current realities and celebrations possible. And I couldn't be more proud to be a part of it. And that's what tonight's presentations of learning and informational type discussions are going to be about. Our community, we are going to talk about the realities of our school district's budget and how we get financed by the state. And we want to demystify, not just tonight, but every day, that there's a lot of assumptions that we need to unpack as a school community. One is that we are a floor-funded district. That's not a myth. That's a fact, that when you look at the amount per pupil that we get, it is at the lowest amount compared to any other district across the state of Colorado. And our finance director will do a much better job of articulating why that is tonight. But I think it's important for our community to know that. I've also come across in many of my engagement sessions with members of our community, and we're a highly educated community, that there's this misconception that when property taxes goes up, which has happened locally, that our school district experiences a windfall of cash as a result. That is not the case. In fact, it actually just allows the state to provide us less to keep that per pupil amount. The only way that our district can raise more money beyond our per pupil allocations is through mill levy overrides and bonds. And that's one of the reasons that we've been talking about that as a governance team. It's no surprise, members of the community, that recently our members of our board, my eyes are getting really bad, referred a mill levy ballot question to the ballot. And we want to make sure that our community has factual information about that measure. So I want to just again signal to the community that if you're interested in learning more, we do have a 2024 mill levy page on our school district's website. I would encourage all of you that are interested to learn more to go there. We are continuing to post more and more information and assets so people can understand the factual information behind that particular ballot question. And I also want to signal that the district will be hosting in the next couple of weeks a series of informational sessions for people who want to learn just more about the facts. There may be a lot of different engagement sessions regarding, but staff can only provide the factual information, and we want to make sure that we invite you to attend those. So please look forward to hearing more information from the district in the next week or two around the specific locations and times and availability for all of those sessions. But thank you so much for allowing me again the opportunity to address the community. I really appreciate it. Thank you.